Testing, testing. Am I live? Looks like I'm live. There we go. Cool. Give me just another moment. Great. Hello. I wanted to get a music bot. Let's get some royalty-free music going on in the background here. Good old royalty-free music. If it takes longer than 20 seconds to get going, then I'm gonna not worry about it. Almost done. Okay, doesn't let me do stuff in a what's it called? A Discord stage. So fuck it. Whatever. Hello again. Today we are going to continue working on the Mach 5 Caltrop Core one-shot game inspired by Speed Racer, F-Zero, Mario Kart, Pod Racing, SSX Tricky, Slug Blaster, Burnout, and other stuff. It's a game about going way too fast. It's a game about the actual race and the mechanics of being in a very fast race car on an improbable racetrack, but also about butting heads with rivals and that kind of thing. I think it's going to be fun and goofy. Again, this is designed to be a one-shot game, so we're keeping it light, we're keeping it loose, and we're just gonna kind of see what happens. Today, let the record show that I'm not a big alcohol drinker, but I thought it would be fun to finish off this bottle of Witch's Brew spiced apple wine. So we're gonna have that in the background because, again, I don't drink very much. This has been around since Halloween. Gotta get rid of it. Much more cidery than winey. Okay, so last time we went through, we talked about the core resolution mechanics. We talked about the teams. We want it to be team racing. So however many players there are, there's going to be an equal number of rivals. 3v3, 4v4, 5v5. Players create their own rival. And that's, I think, a big part of the fun of the game. For the track is going to be randomly generated using a deck of playing cards. Players are going to create a racetrack, which is going to be 4 sections, 4 kind of big set pieces, which I might divide into straightaways and turns, and have those alternating. Whether or not that's actually interesting or meaningful, I'm not sure. Probably not. I'm already talking myself out of it. But then after the first lap, you play another card for each section, and that's going to modify it, add a twist, add a complication. And you're going to do that for the 3 laps, so a total of 12 cards are going to be played. And that is going to kind of create the game. The pack is the unit of racing where you are in the pack, the order. We want to keep that very simple and streamlined. We want it to be relative positioning, not absolute positioning. So relative positioning means that, oh, I'm getting a message. All good. Relative positioning meaning that where you are in relationship to the other racers matters a lot more than where you are physically located on the racetrack. We want to keep it loose. We want to keep it improvisational, and we want to keep it abstract because imagine a racing game with 5-foot squares. Goddamn nightmare. So, rivals need to be their own section, and this was kind of where we ended the stream. Problems to solve for. What does advancement look like? We want players to be able to get new powers for their cars, new gadgets. What does that look like? What is the resource that you accumulate or spend? So this is something like stress in Blades in the Dark or luck in Enter the Survival Horror. Should you be able to overspend it? Should you be able to gamble it? How do you earn it? Those are all important questions to ask. How do we encourage players to take risks? We want them to be putting themselves front and center. We want them to be out doing goofy stuff. Dungeon Vermin actually had a very simple solution to this, which was just offering a bonus dice if you are displaying a reckless disregard for self-preservation. That worked wonderfully. That was an excellent solution to causing players to embrace the chaos. So maybe something like that. What does changing positions within the pack look like? That's the big question, I think. That one, I think, is probably not going to be something that I worry about. Uh-oh. Am I paused? How's my connection? Testing. Okay, my stream was pinwheeling on the other side, so hoping that my internet connection does look choppy. Not awesome. Whatever. We're just gonna keep going because I don't have an alternative. So, changing positions within the pack seems like the kind of problem that I need to just kind of marinate on a little bit, see what other people have done, and see what the best version of that is, especially considering how it's going to be played. Is this going to be played live in person? Some games like Dread, you play them in person or you don't play them at all. It's just the Jenga tower doesn't translate online. Or online only games, conversely, all of my games are currently basically designed to be played online. They have these online quick start keepers made in Google Sheets, which are really great. I like them a lot, but it's also, I don't have a great paper solution currently. So considering how it's going to be played is going to be important. The next question was, what do complications look like? Which are, after we've laid out the track, how do you complicate each segment of the track? And I think that the solution is going to be random tables corresponding to those cards, and then just mixing and matching in various ways, and then leaving lots of room for interpretation. I think that might just solve it, but what kind of problems are there going to be? What kind of additional goals can there be? Does a complication have to be related to the race itself, or can it come from outside of the race? And some of those questions I think are interesting and cool and are worth playing with, but it's a matter of is a one-shot game the correct place for that? And I'm not sure about that. That might be a layer of complication too many. And then the last part is rivals. Rivals should have a mechanical impact. When players are facing off against their own rival, the stake should be raised in some way. That should mean something. So, these are the problems to solve for. And I think that currently, for this stream, let's make some random tables for the racetrack. I think that'll be fun. Also, if anyone out there works for Google, make them, I want multiple pages down here, just like in Google Sheets. Like how Google Sheets has these tabs with different characters. I want that. Also, this is tooting my own horn, but for Dungeon Vermin, dangerous idea. In the middle of the night, I had one that I thought was very funny, which is, look, I'm either poisonous or venomous. I can't remember which is which, but either way, watch out. That's a good dangerous idea. I like it. So, with that said, let's talk about random lists. We've got 3 random lists to work on. We've got racetrack, second lap, and finale. Second lap, that's a work in progress name. For each of these, we decided to use the 16 face cards, possibly 18 if we include the jokers. So that's a little up in the air. Let's skip jokers for now. We can always add those in. So what that's going to be is ace of spades. I wonder if there are like emoji that I could use. Playing card emoji for clarity. Ace. King. Queen. Jack. Yeah, that's good enough. We can make that work. So, we'll call that ace, king, queen, jack. And then we're actually going to stylize it like that. That's interesting that it shrinks. Club. diamond. Heart. Okay. Okay, and that is our bullet list. All right. Pretty easy. Okay, so do we want to divide spades, clubs, diamonds, hearts into like different levels of severity where it's like, oh, you want to get hearts because hearts usually mean something good, but spades usually mean something bad, or the inverse where aces are usually something good, but jacks are something bad, or knaves. Knaves is a cooler name than jack, for the record. I've also got for a snack, I'll mute my microphone if I do it, but these pomegranate pistachios, they're what's up. They're good shit. So, the racetrack. Let's talk about racetracks. What makes a good racetrack? I think we want just like a single defining feature for each of these. It's either one word or two. We will see. But let's talk about maybe the best racetrack level. SSX tricky. Pinball, whatever that place was called. Yeah, look at that. That's good shit. Tokyo Megaplex. So let's talk. What makes this level cool? I think the answer is that it's a pinball machine. You know, lots of obstacles, lots of bumpers, lots of moving parts, different levels that you can go on. How can we summarize what a stretch of a racing game that would look like this feel like? And the answer might just be pinball machine. Because remember, as part of the previous. Oh, yeah, look at that. That air vortex. That's great. Launchpad. Okay, I'm talking myself out of one word. Thinking two. What makes these levels cool and memorable? And how can you? I want it so that when you play a card, everyone instantly gets an idea of it in their heads, and then also the I was talking about how I wanted there to be like a whiteboard, and the players are drawing the level as they go. They're drawing the map of this racetrack. That seems cool to me. Dealer Umbra, hello. Thank you for joining me. Very flattering. So, let's go with winter pinball as an idea. And I mean, to me, that definitely creates some images. Again, very speed racer. Could have each suit be like a season. That'd be kind of interesting. Like, what would summer pinball look like? But I think that's getting ahead of ourselves. Because one of the things I was talking about was using, there's 16 cards from the face cards from a deck. But a race is going to be 12 sections, which means 12 cards, which means you have 4 cards left over. So we could use those other 4 cards as oracles about the overall shape, the overall tone of it. So winter would make a lot of sense from that perspective, that it would go there. Let's create another table. Let's call it oracles. And this is going to be winter, bright colors. Dealer Umber says a suit usually has 13 cards, doesn't it? Yes, it does, but we're not talking about all of the aces. We're talking about all of the face cards. So ace, king, queen, jack for 4 different suits, which is how we're getting our 16. Winter, bright colors. Well, first of all, summer, autumn, spring. In no particular order. We can always rearrange the order of these. That's not important. The important thing is just to get ideas down. Get that first draft, then you can revise. Bright colors. Let's go desert, volcano, subterranean, underwater, haunted, like that. Swamp, correct, Dealer Umbra. Outer space. Eclipse. I want something with like food, like there's like the Mario Karts where it's like the mountains are made of cake, something like that. Baked goods. We'll workshop that one. Dream. I like that one, Umbra. And then finally, in another time period. So, this race will be taking place during the Sengoku period. Looking for a deck of cards. I got a deck of cards, but it's somewhere. So give me just a minute, and I will. Oh, gravy as an option. Gravy's pretty good. I'll be back in just a second with a deck of cards. I put on my away screen for a different game. No, let's go with that one. All right, back. Have a deck of cards. Let's separate these bad boys out and give it a try. Put jokers aside just in case we end up wanting to do something with that. By the way, I don't remember if I've mentioned this, but this is for the Caltrop Core Jam, which means that I have, like 5 days in order to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Did I count them wrong? Nope, we are missing one. Who are we missing? 2 jacks, 2 queens, kings. This is riveting stuff. Thank you for anyone who's actually not instantly bailing. Okay, we are missing a queen. No, that's not true. We were missing an ace. Got it. Okay, now we've got all 16. Hello to the mystery third viewer who has joined us. I appreciate it. So, let's test this out. We've got 4 randomly selected cards, and that is going to give us, we've got the Queen of Spades, so that is Summer, the Queen of Hearts, which is Dream, the Jack of Clubs, which is Outer Space, and then the Ace of Hearts, which is Eclipse. And I don't know about you, but that paints a interesting idea to me. So outer space, eclipse, and dream, all that suggests, a pretty clear picture. How does summer come into it? Yeah, I'm not sure. That sounds cool. I'm into that. But with that as a springboard, I think that you could then, take your remaining cards and work with it. So now that we have that, sorry, I'm getting a technical issue real quick. I was experimenting with this stage on Discord. I don't think it's working out, so I'm going to switch over to a more traditional video stream. Which will also allow me to have that background music. So let's do that. All right. Let's get that background music on. All right. Good old royalty-free. Good stuff. If anyone is on the Boo Cherry Discord and wants to pop on and say hello, I'm giving you permission. Don't make me regret it. Haven't done this before. So the racetrack itself, we've got all these broad things, which means that like this is the flavor of the racetrack. Now we want to create like the set piece, the obstacles. And what could that be? I think part of it is like lots of S turns. Is it going to be stuff like this one's kind of tricky. Complications, I think, are fairly easy. You know, because second lap, it's like rock slide and earthquake, which are similar but not the same. But as far as the actual shape of the track, what does that feel like? Is it just literally describing the shape of it? A focal point? Like, what if it's like Umbra is saying sharp U-turn? Not bad. But what if it's stuff like a focal point? So like big statue driving through a skull. Because before we got summer, outer space, eclipse, dream. And I mean, this makes me think that we're doing like, you know, Bloodborne kart. And then we've got a giant skull that we're driving through. That's pretty cool. That's pretty fun. Up on stilts. It's kind of a fun idea. Collapsing ground. But again, that feels a little bit more like a complication. So let's put that ground, slippery, terrain, Mobius strip. That's kind of funny. Maze. By the way, can you hear the music? Is that fun? Is that too loud? Need to be adjusted? Through the bleachers. Yeah, that's fun. Umbra is saying, I was on a Mobius race once. It's pretty one-sided. Cute. No music on your end. I wonder if that's because I have my earbuds in. Let me know if there's music now. I think this is kind of the right track. Talking about like these general shapes. Talking about portals. That's pretty good.
jump pads. There's some muffled music happening, which means that it's probably picking up on the audio coming out from the speakers themselves, which means that it's not working. So we'll just stop fussing with the music. That's not worth it right now. Long, unbroken, straight away. Steep incline. Got a suggestion for reverse pads. Not sure what reverse pads are. It's a fun turn of phrase. What would you call like a whoosh, like a tunnel that you have to like spiral around the inside? The drain, maelstrom. I like the maelstrom anyways, just because it's cool. Actually, that's a complication. Let's go with maelstrom. Zero gravity. No, let's go with low gravity. Centrifuge is pretty good. What other Mario Kart gimmicks are there? We've got... I feel like we've already covered a lot of Mario Kart ground. Which also includes a pinball level, and that pit level also rules, for the record. I already had Haunted, and there's a great Haunted House level. I think that Haunted House level is my favorite Mario Kart level. It's so good. Super fun. Obviously, big jump. Yeah, gotta have a big jump. And then 2 more. Precision jumps, and then street race. Like part of it just breaks out into a populated city road, and you're navigating through traffic and stuff. That sounds cool. Second lap. You know, I'm thinking about it. I think I want these big complications to be part of the finale. Slide. Because I think I want the second lap complications to be like smaller scale, a little bit more personal. So these are going to be things like your mom calls you. And now you're trying to race and your mom is also like, won't get off the phone. I feel like that's like the tenor of what I want. But here's the other problem, is that sounds like a problem that affects only a single racer, not the entire team, or not the racetrack itself. So would you just pick one character who has a complication like this? Or would you want something that will affect everyone? Uh, corporate espionage. Ninjas attack. No, that's down here. Ninjas attack is a little bit like, T-Fury t-shirt for me, but it is literally in Speed Racer. So we'll include it. Rival appears. I think rivals are special enough that they should get their own section of the rules. I don't think that the rivals are going to be as a part of this. Body swap. That's very funny. And suddenly you're in a different car. And then the question becomes, do you keep racing or do you have to sabotage the race? Something like that could be fun. Is that a good idea? I don't know. Evil Clone Squad. I like Evil Clone Squad. And that kind of like brings us up. Let's talk about inspiration, like wrestling shit, but like specifically dumb wrestling shit. Like I have memories of working at a restaurant, and they would sometimes put WWE, WWF, I don't know which one's which, on the screen while in the break room, and there would just be like the wildest shit because a random group of roving marauders would enter the ring and start beating them up, and then the judges would be like, referee, are you gonna stop them? And they'd be like, no way, those guys are way too tough for us. And it's just like, oh, our hands are tied. And I want a little bit of that chaotic energy of just like, it's the middle of a race and suddenly bug monsters are showing up, but that doesn't mean that the race stops. The race is going. Like, we can't stop the race. Sorry, it's the Airbud rule. Nothing in the rules says I can't have giant bugs on the racetrack. Really nice picnic lunch. Fire, obviously. Everything is on fire. Everyone drives backwards. Again, the second lap, I'm trying to have like goofy little twists, kind of little complications, and then, something big for the finale. A player's car breaks down. We'll see. That's maybe a little bit more mechanically focused than I had been going for, but a player's car is hijacked. That might be more interesting. And again, this is the first draft of the list. It'll get revised. Oh no, there's a parade going through the middle of the racetrack. Get some of that Adam West Batman, some days you just can't get rid of a bomb energy. That's a good touch point, actually, of just like goofy complications. Yeah, simple goal, absurd complications that are preventing you from accomplishing your goal. Possessed by the ghost of a former racer. Pretty good. You're asked to officiate a wedding right now. Surprise. It's also the Battle of the Bands. See, when I start like taking away from like these 1 or 2 line things and turning them into like goofy sentences, like that's when I feel like things start getting fun. Like that's flavorful to me. So I gotta lean into that energy. Wait, did you leave your oven on? Oh, I like that. Umbra says they're filming a documentary about whoever's in the lead. I like just like they're filming a documentary. And they're getting in the way. Kind of Truman Show idea. That's pretty funny. Exceedingly persistent multi-level marketing representative. And of course, the Speed Racer Classic. Your kid brother and his pet monkey have stowed away in your car. Yeah, that's good. Your girlfriend calls and tells you that this just isn't working out. That's mean. Okay, so let's revise a couple of these prompts so that they're more in line with the like these little short sentences. Corporate espionage. Okay. I don't know why. I'm just replacing that with this race is just a cover to distract from you stealing the Declaration of Independence. Yeah, that's good. Whole team gets Freaky Friday to switch bodies. And now suddenly everyone is in a different car. That's fun. And you've all been invited. Umbra says, there's something else going on. For the rest of this lap, play a different game to find out what. That's fun. That sounds like it would be insufferable in play. It would be funny to be like, no dice, now there's the Jenga tower. But you don't know if players are going to have the Jenga tower. Again, there's the problem of like how you're playing it. If you're playing online, that just doesn't translate well. There's a bomb. If you ever go under your top speed, you will explode. Player's card breaks down, that's too mundane. That's a regular consequence. So let's replace it with your parents have joined the race. Yeah, that's good. Okay, then finale, we actually want something big. We've established the tone of the track. We've established the shape of the track. There's a goofy complication that now you have to think about in the background. And now we have one last big obstacle that hopefully brings it all together. Everything's on fire. Maelstrom. Ninja's attack. Ninja's attack feels pretty good, actually. That feels like really kind of on brand for what we want. The seventh seal has been broken, ushering in a new age of darkness. Meteor impact. I love meteor impact. What else from like SSX or Mario Kart? Time dilation, black holes. Those are kind of fun, but they don't fit with every setting. Kaiju attack. I like that. The end of the race is not won by who crosses finish line, but all cars turn into giant robots and slug it out. I'm really just spitballing here. This is getting big. This is getting outrageous. I would suggest lawyers. I like lawyers very much. stock market crashes. That was dumb. I don't like that one. Oh, the rivals actually deserve to win. We'll save those last couple ones. Let's just pull some cards and see how this feels. So, the oracles were Summer, Outer Space, Eclipse, Dream. Dream is a weird one. Is that too far? Is that weird? No, because other times you'll pull something totally different, and it doesn't matter. So that gives us the picture of it. What does our racetrack look like? The first bend is Queen of Diamonds. So it's through the bleachers. That's the first one. That's fun. The next track is the Jack of Spades, driving through a skull. Next one is the King of Hearts, that has a big jump. The next one is the Jack of Hearts, which is a street race. So that gives us what does the street race look like in outer space in a dream? I guess we're just really leaning into the dream logic of it. So this is like an Inception race where, you know, this isn't real. This is like a hologram or a simulation. And we are... I think that the skybox is basically like this outer space, and it's got meteors streaking above it, and there's like a planet that dominates the horizon with like a big ring like Saturn. And then every once in a while there are sections of the road that fall away, revealing just like that empty infinite space. But then also along it there are like these bits of reality, such as this stretch of town. Cat food is going off. So it starts going through the bleachers, which is a cool way to imagine it. Just imagining like these bleachers that are kind of weaving in and out with this road that's going by. Don't crash in that section. It's a bad scene. You know what this looks like? This looks like Thumper. The slow internet connection is killing my vibe. There's a boss fight in this game where there's just like this giant skull dominating the horizon, and you got like this psychedelic space scene going on. Oh yeah, look at that. That's great. So we've got a giant cosmic skull. And then it leads to this gigantic jump whoosh, that players are just, you know, spending 15, 20 seconds in the air as their cars do like that car fighting thing that they do in the Speed Racer movie. All right, and then for the second lap, we've got Ace of Diamonds. There's a bomb. If you ever go under your top speed, that will explode. I think it should be that each player pulls one complication during the second lap, even if there's more than one. Well, the problem with this is that like we're assuming that 12 cards would get pulled, so 4 cards would get pulled here. But if there's only 3 players or 5 players or 6 players, that's going to be different. But I think that makes more sense that everyone has to pull a complication. Maybe the complication gets pulled at like the beginning of the race or something. Jack of Diamonds. No, there's a parade going through the middle of the racetrack. So obviously, yeah, no, I think that the complications, we want to have them pop up when they're more appropriate. So, during the street race or the bleachers makes a lot more sense for a parade than the big jump. And you want a little bit of consistency, I think. Ace of Spades. Your mom calls you. I like that very much. And then King of Spades. The whole team gets... no. The race is just a cover to distract from you stealing the Declaration of Independence. This is a lot. This is very chaotic. Okay, and then the final lap. You pull the Queen of Clubs. The end of the race is everyone turns into giant robots and slugs it out. King of Clubs. Kaiju Attack. King of Diamonds. Evil Clone Squad. Ace of Clubs. Meteor Impact. So I think that this has been a useful exercise, just pulling these test cards. And I think what this is showing is that even though I want it to be wacky and chaotic, this is too wacky and chaotic. This is a lot. I don't think you can have this much incident. So here's what I'm thinking. I think that you pick one card for the finale. Any one of these is enough to like really flavor the rest of the race. For the complications, each player picks one at the start of the race. The racetrack. Build the track in 4 sections. Then for the oracles, I'm thinking only pick 2. 4 is just a lot. And then trying to, square those circles just turns into kind of a game of Calvin ball. Where if we pick only 2, got the King of Spades and the Ace of Spades. Now we have winter and bright colors. And with just those 2, I mean, that's very clear. That's a Christmas race. And you can do a lot with a Christmas race. Yeah. That's making sense to me. It's just toning down the number of complications and twists we're trying to introduce. Too much kitchen sink takes away the focus, adds too much chaos. But we can trim it down. Yeah, that feels good. Okay, so I'm going to spitball a couple more finale twists, and then I think I'm going to wrap it up. Because like these finale twists are still pretty big deals. Racetrack is collapsing. Oh, actually, I should. I would need a specific trigger for some of these. Figuring out when to trigger complications is going to be part of it. And I feel like it should be player driven. Like players get a reward for triggering their complication. That makes sense. Like they get a big bonus, a big boost. I was going to type in it's a triathlon and everyone has to switch to like a bicycle, which would be funny to end the race on. But that would mean that they would lose all of their cool car gadgets. And car gadgets are really important. We want cool car gadgets. So I think I'm going to veto that. I don't know. I'm having a hard time with these last three. I feel like I feel like we've done good work. I feel like we've workshopped a couple major ideas. I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Let me finish off this apple wine. Um, so because I've got this holiday break from now until the new year, really until next Monday, I'm probably going to be streaming fairly frequently as I workshop this game. Thank you to everyone who came and visited. I appreciate it. And yeah, I think I will see you next time. I'm going to do a little work off camera, some of the boring stuff. But this was good to think out loud through some of these problems. Thanks very much.